There are moments in life that feel quiet when they happen, ordinary on the surface, but later reveal themselves as turning points. This was one of those moments. It began in a summer class that neither of them wanted to be in. The classroom was small, sunlit, and almost empty. 12 students at most. The kind of class where everyone learned each other's names by the second week. Where time moved slowly, as if summer itself had pressed pause. Lena was there by accident. A scheduling error by her advisor had dropped her into the course, and by the time it was fixed, it was too late to change anything. Evan was there reluctantly, 3 credits short of graduating. 3 credits standing between him and freedom. He had argued, pleaded, emailed, and exhausted every possible option, but the answer was always the same. He had to take the class. On the first day, Evan arrived late. The door opened quietly, and he slipped inside, scanning the room with visible irritation. He chose a seat near the back, dropped his bag, and crossed his arms like someone counting minutes. Lena looked up, and something inside her shifted. It wasn't a thought. It wasn't even attraction. Not yet. It was a sensation, like a switch flipping. Like her body recognized something her mind hadn't caught up to. Her chest tightened. Her stomach fluttered. She felt suddenly alert, awake, aware. She tried to shake it off. They sat on opposite sides of the room that day. No words exchanged, no glances held too long. But the next morning, Evan walked in and chose a seat closer to where Lena had been sitting before, not beside her. Just near enough to feel intentional, Lena noticed immediately. She told herself it meant nothing, but something about it felt deliberate, familiar, like a quiet acknowledgement. When they finally spoke, it was effortless. They started with small talk, class material, assignments, but within minutes they were laughing, then comparing favorite books, then discovering they loved the same authors, the same strange humor, the same way of noticing the world. The coincidences piled up until they felt uncanny. They talked about their childhoods, their families, their inner worlds. And without planning to, they touched on the losses they had both experienced only weeks before this class began. Different events. Same ache, they didn't dwell there. They didn't need to. The understanding was mutual, unspoken, and grounding. They discovered they lived along the same train line. An hour away from campus, 2 stops apart. So they started riding home together. At first, they sat politely, shoulders barely brushing. Then closer. Then talking so deeply, they missed their stops and laughed about it. One afternoon, a classmate needed volunteers for a simple experiment, something about vision adjusting in the dark. The details barely mattered. Lena and Evan were chosen. They stepped into a darkened room. The door closed behind them. The lights went out. The air changed instantly. They sat side by side, voices lowered. Evan's voice sounded softer in the dark, closer. Lena's heart raced in a way she hadn't felt in years. It wasn't flirtation exactly. It was tension, awareness, possibility. When the lights came back on, neither of them spoke for a moment. After that, they started finding excuses. Meeting before class, grabbing drinks after. Sitting at bars while the sky outside faded from gold to blue to black. 5 hours would pass without either of them noticing. On the last day of class, they didn't show up at all. They spent the day together instead, wandering the city, talking, sitting too close on benches, brushing hands, and pretending it was accidental. That day, Evan admitted it. He felt the pull too, from the first moment. He had moved his seat on purpose. From there, everything accelerated. They texted constantly, FaceTimed endlessly, fell asleep with the screen still glowing between them, woke up to each other's faces before they even brushed their teeth. Evan pursued with confidence and tenderness. Lena followed carefully, shy but fully present. Every part of her responded. One night, Evan drove them to the water. They parked quietly, city lights shimmering in the distance. He leaned back in his seat and looked at her, really looked like he was trying to memorize every detail. When they kissed, it felt inevitable, magnetic, like something clicking into place. They fell deeply, recklessly in love. The kind of love that feels scripted, unreal, so perfectly reciprocated it feels almost dangerous. They couldn't stay away from each other. When they went out, people noticed. The way they touched, the way they smiled, the way they existed together. Looking back, it was almost embarrassing how obvious it was, until the truth surfaced. Evan had a girlfriend the entire time. When Lena found out, the world didn't shatter all at once. It collapsed slowly, piece by piece, thought by thought. She didn't just lose him. She lost the illusion that had been holding her upright. He hadn't healed her past grief. He had distracted her from it. And when he disappeared, everything returned at once. For 2 years, Lena spiraled. She cried daily, sometimes without warning, sometimes without understanding why. She mourned him. She mourned the betrayal. She mourned the grief she had never processed before meeting him. Healing took time, distance, perspective. Now when she looks back, it still stings, not because she wants him, but because she remembers how fragile she was. Sometimes she imagines going back, not to change anything, just to wrap her arms around her younger self and whisper, "You weren't too foolish. You weren't weak. You were just human." If this story touched you in any way, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Every single animation you see on this channel is inspired by a real-life moment. Real feelings, real lessons, real people. These aren't just cartoons. They're pieces of someone's life, brought to the screen to share a unique experience. If you want to see more true stories come to life through the magic of animation, then you're in the right place. Stick with us, because your support is what helps us continue to share these important voices that truly deserve to be heard. We're so grateful to have you here on this journey with us. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next story.